Hello, this is TTV News broadcast on Tay Ninh radio and television station. Ladies and gentlemen, we start the news today with information regarding the suspected community case of COVID-19 on the 3rd of July in Trang Bang town. The Tay Ninh Provincial Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control has issued a decision to establish a medical isolation area related to the patient's residence to prevent and control the infectious disease.
In order to localize, stem out the pandemic and prevent the infectious disease from spreading in the community, a medical isolation area has been established in Loc An Neighborhood, Loc An. The isolation location is the area around the patient house, with the boundary defined as follows. It borders Mr. James Land to the east, next to Phú Hòa Canal to the west, being bounded on the south by Mr. Roy's Land, and it abuts the land of Mr. Võ Văn Nu to the north. The quarantine period started on July 3, 2021 at 8 a.m. The medical isolation measure will be applied for at least 21 days from the date of the last confirmed case of COVID-19 in the medical isolation area. The Provincial Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control also requested agencies, units, and localities based on their functions and tasks to coordinate and organize activities according to the guidance provided by Decision Number 3986, dated September 16, 2020, on promulgation of Handbook for Quarantine Practices in areas with reported confirmed COVID-19. Tay Ninh has so far established 8 medical isolation areas, ensuring the work of tracing and localizing F0, F1 cases in the community.
On the 2nd of July, the Tay Ninh Provincial Confederation of Labour received a donation worth over 2.3 billion Vietnam dong from Winger Vietnam Company Limited, directly under the management of the Trade Union of Tay Ninh Provincial Economic Zone. The ceremony was held at Thanh Công Industrial Park in An Hòa Ward, Trang Bang town, to receive support for the program Vaccines for the Workers.
The program Vaccines for Workers was launched by the Vietnam General Confederation of Labour. Over the last time, it has received the support of union members, workers, and businesses, many of which are located in industrial parks and export processing zones of Tay Ninh province. The program aimed at facilitating poor workers in accessing vaccines, contributing to bringing the COVID-19 pandemic under control, helping businesses quickly stabilize production. At the ceremony, Mr. Võ Văn Dũng, Chairman of Tay Ninh Provincial Confederation of Labour, received a symbolic donation worth $100,000, equivalent to more than 2.3 billion Vietnam dong, from the Board of Directors of Winger Vietnam Company Limited. Representative of the company's Board of Directors said that the complicated situation of the pandemic has greatly affected the production and business activities of the company, the life and employment of workers. Despite difficult circumstances, the company still wishes to contribute to the fight against the pandemic, creating conditions for poor workers to get vaccinated against COVID-19, helping the company stabilize production and ensure income for its workers.
Tân Châu District Youth Union coordinated with the Flame of the Heart Volunteer Club based in Tay Ninh City to organize the Rise of Love program with a total value of about 20 million Vietnam dong in Tân Hoa Commune on the 4th of July 2021. Under the program, 1 ton of rice was donated to 100 disadvantaged households affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in Tân Hoa Commune. The delegation also gave face masks and anti-splash face shields to protect people from coronavirus. Previously, at the launching ceremony of the Red Flamboyant Flower campaign and the Operation Green campaign, the youth of Tân Châu District cleaned, painted, and repaired game clusters and presented a game cluster for children worth 50 million Vietnam dong in Tân Đông Commune. They also propagated epidemic prevention and control, painted and repaired houses, and gave gifts to disadvantaged poor families in Tân Hưng Commune. turn to other news. Ladies and gentlemen, the Action Plan number 68, dated October the 5th, 2017, of Tay Ninh Provincial Party Committee clearly defines that Tay Ninh will strive to make the tourism industry an important economic sector, creating a driving force for the socio-economic development of the province.
By 2030, Tay Ninh tourism is really a spearhead economic sector, contributing over 7% of GDP, strongly promoting the development of other industry and fields. To achieve the set goals, Tay Ninh identify important tasks, especially improving service quality and tourism environment quality, focusing on diversifying tourism products, developing new tourism products with unique cultural characteristics of the locality. The province will focus on realizing a number of solutions to create a driving force for breakthrough development, concentrating on expanding tourism development links with the Southeast, Central, Northwest, and Northeast tourist regions in the 2021-2025 period. Every year, the province will develop a specific program to implement the cooperation agreement with Ho Chi Minh City and the Southeast provinces, Hanoi City, and other regions, provinces, and cities all over the country, linking to support units and enterprises doing business in service and tourism in the province to attract professional and high-quality human resources, promoting the training of vocational groups in service of tourism development and tourist services for rural workers, improving foreign language skills for officials and civil servants, supporting and encouraging training institutions and vocational training schools in the province to open high-quality service and tourism training courses, and building joint programs.
Tay Ninh is having preferential policies to control investment in agricultural sector in order to achieve the goal of developing sustainable and high-tech agriculture, including the high-tech food and vegetables investment projects. The province currently has 20,000 hectares of vegetables of all kinds and over 16,000 hectares of fruit trees. The demand for processing and preservation is very large, so the projects on preliminary processing and processing of vegetables and processing fruit products are essential. District towns and Tay Ninh City give priority to public land funds for the projects with concentrated production areas of 5 hectares or more. It must be agricultural projects applying high technology in production and being invested in modern technological equipment and processes, producing high-quality vegetables, meeting VGAP, Global Gap organic standards, and certifying food safety standards. Investing in high-tech agriculture, investors will enjoy special policies to invest in agriculture and rural areas in Tay Ninh province. The audience facing the fourth wave of COVID-19 outbreak, the price of many kinds of agricultural products in Tay Ninh province has decreased sharply compared to previous years, causing many farmers to fall into difficult situations. In today's program, we would like to introduce the reporters Tay Ninh Farmers Market for agricultural products.
This day, many agricultural products such as custard apple, cantaloupe, mango, etc. are in the harvest season. However, instead of the joy of a good harvest, many gardeners are facing heavy losses because the prices of agricultural products have fallen sharply. Due to the resurgence of the COVID-19 pandemic, 17 out of 234 traditional markets are currently temporarily closed, including Hóc Môn Wholesale Market. Familiar markets no longer receive goods as before, leading to a large backlog of agricultural products. Under Baden, custard apple has been granted a geographical indication and has its own brand name on the domestic and foreign markets. The product inevitably suffer from the impact of the pandemic. Thanh Tân Commune, Tay Ninh City is one of the localities in Tay Ninh with a large area of custard apple cultivation. If every year the people here are excited about the harvest, this year the atmosphere is quite gloomy due to the COVID-19 epidemic, affecting consumption as well as prices. Being faced with such a difficult situation, the locality has also reported to the city's authority, and we have also actively raised information about the disadvantaged households to support them. The locality has had discussions with related units such as Tay Ninh Commercial Cooperative to ask for their support, but because farmers produce in a traditional way, not according to Vietgap standards, so they have not been able to support these farmers or these granaries. In the future, if possible, the locality will continue to report to the city authorities for support. Not only cluster apples, vegetables also fell into a sluggish situation. As for Phước Ninh Agricultural Cooperative located in Dư Minh Châu district, although being contracted with Bạch Hóa Sàn system, facing the complicated development of the COVID-19 epidemic, the amount of vegetables and fruits exported decreased by 50%. Ms. Lâm Thị Có, Director of Phước Ninh Agricultural Cooperative, Phước Ninh Commune Dư Minh Châu district stated, previously, her cooperative can provide employment for over 40 local workers. Currently, it can only create jobs for 20 local workers. She really hopes that the authorities and leaders of relevant sectors take measures to support farmers to overcome such problems of merchandise inventory. In the same situation, cantaloupe growers in Hoa Thành Thao, Go Dao district, also get stuck in the mud. To grow cantaloupe, it is necessary to invest in a net house system with a high cost of about 250 to 300 million for 1,000 square meters. At first, cantaloupe was sold at a very good price, so the life of farmers was significantly improved. However, due to the complicated development of the COVID-19 situation, in a short time, the price of cantaloupe fell by over one-third compared to the previous years. By the end of April 2021, mangoes grown on Baden Mountain area are going through a slump. According to mango growing farmers here, they never faced such a tough sale. Facing this situation, the Provincial Farmers Union has directed on levels of district farmer associations to get information about agricultural products that are backlogged. We've also directed them to guide and help people sell agricultural products in the province to partly solve their difficulties. We have also discussed with several banks to ask them to consider rescheduling and freezing debt for the farmers who borrow for agricultural production. Recently, the Farmers Union also contacted a technology company based in Ho Chi Minh City to send some samples of goods for testing to act as an intermediary to help create output for farmers. The situation of oversupply or a steep decline in prices of some agricultural products during the pandemic period in some localities, the problem of finding sustainable output for agricultural products was once again raised.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thanks for watching and see you next time.